welcome back to my channel. Assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak. So it's Ramadan, as you guys already know, and I can't believe Ramadan is almost done. Like it's day like 24. I can't believe it, but alhamdulillah. Anyways, today I'm gonna talk about my journey to hijab, or like my hijab story, and I was so excited, guys. So I even like put on a little bit of makeup. Guess what? We have a friend here. Literally, I haven't put on any makeup the whole Ramadan, but still I got a pimple. Like I don't get pimples. My skin loves it when I'm no makeup. Anyways, I still did it for you guys to look cute. I look a bit cute. I even have like a necklace and a ring just for you guys. Anyways, sorry, let's get into the video now for real. We have to go way back since I was younger, and yeah, like growing up, like I used to have hijab, you know, like in schools, because I went in Islamic school and it was normal, like everybody had hijab, and so it was fine. I didn't think like that serious about it. Most of like my family back home has like hijab and it's quite normal, but one thing I noticed, like some people in my country, like they have hijab and then they take it off. So I thought it was a thing, like it was just you can have it whenever you want and then take it off like whenever you want. So I didn't think much about it. I had my hijab until like I turned like 9 years old when we moved here. Then I didn't have hijab because like I was still young back then. I know for you, some of you guys already have hijab when you were younger, but for me I didn't, and most of my siblings didn't either. So when I came to Sweden, like I just wore like normal clothes as everyone else, like jeans. I was just a young little I was just a young little cute baby. One thing I noticed, like whenever I grew up when I was younger, I was more like comfortable in modest clothes, like clothes that are way more covering up. And here, like people like wear whatever they want, so I was just not used to wearing like shorts during summer. But like my mom wouldn't mind because I was still young, but I never did it either. For me, I like had to force myself in a way to wear, like I only did it once. It's Ramadan, no lying here. So I only wore it once and I felt so uncomfortable because like I felt like my legs were out and everything, and I was like, oh my gosh, no, this doesn't feel right at all. I was young, but I knew that wasn't right. I started to just like wear jeans, and some of my friends would be like, why are you having like jeans? Isn't it warm? Because it was summer and it was so warm outside. So I was like, yeah, I mean, no. This is, you know, my excuse was always like, I grew up in Africa, so if you think this is warm, this is nothing. Africa is even more warmer. Like, I was so stupid. I like always used to say that. People will be like, oh, that's so cool. I guess you're used to it. Like, respect, you know what I mean? So I was like, yeah. Next. So now I'm at age 14. Is then my iman started like to grow a bit. I started like to learn more about Islam. I don't even know why. Like I think no, something just happened. I watched the khutbah, like we're all gonna die, and it was really like terrifying at that time because I was so scared. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to die and go to hell, like Jahannam. I was more like, I think I knew, like I don't even know why, but I knew like whenever you did something wrong, like I knew basic stuff about Islam, that's all, but I didn't know like the consequences you would get, like when you do that displeases God. And so I learned more about Islam. Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. Anyways, I think like someone had died or something, and my mother told us how important like God was, and we should always trust God. This is a shout out to mom. Like she inspires me so much, so inspired. And I learned like why we are like, what's the reason of life. Like before I didn't know like what anxiety and stuff was, but whenever I become older, the more like I started feeling like a bit of anxiety, you know, like teenage years or whatever. Why am I talking like I'm 80 years old? Like girl, guys, I'm not even 19. This girl right here is not even 19, but she's talking like a grandma. Anyways, the story when it comes to hijab, like many people like around me, my friends, like I've always been this girl. Like I have like my white friends, you know what I mean, like friends who are like more like non-hijab and non-Muslim friends, and then I have like Muslim friends. But for some reason I always like felt so much more comfortable when I was like with my Muslim friends, and that was because like I could pray whenever I want. It's not that I couldn't pray with my other non-Muslims friends. I could too, but I always had to explain what I'm doing, what I'm blah 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 blah. My Muslim friends like would always like pray together, talk about hijab sometimes, and it was never that serious. I was just like hijab blah blah blah, until like one day like I went into a khutbah. I don't know her name, but she's very good, like like she's a doctor slash, yeah, she's a doctor, but she's also a preacher. How do you say? Don't share shekat for girls. I don't know. I don't know, something like that. So I listened to her, and she talked about like how important the hijab is, and Allah told us to cover up. And there's always been this like discussion about if like there's not like Allah doesn't say anything about hijab in the Quran, like you don't have to, like you know what I mean, guys. So I watched her video, and it touched me really. Like I was like, wow. Whenever like I hear about Islam, I always get like mind blown, and I'm like, I don't want to die. Like I don't want to die without putting on hijab, and that would be too late, and then I'll be like started feeling a sort of like a panic, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to wear hijab. That's all I knew. I was like, I need to wear hijab. Then reality hits. So living in a Western world with hijab is not that easy, as you guys know. And the only thing that would help you put on your hijab, if you are serious about your hijab, is your iman. Trust me, it's your iman. Because if you're not serious about your hijab, you're gonna take it off, girl. I'm not even telling you that like proudly. I'm just saying like you're gonna take it off, because so many people like nowadays, I'm just gonna say it's 2023, and being a hijabi, black hijabi too, not that easy. No, not easy. But anyways, putting on hijab, the most important like person who inspired me, this is gonna be like, this is a shout out to my sister. I think some of you guys have seen her in my videos, Salma, in my older videos. Shout out. I love you, Sarah. Anyways, she inspired me to put on a hijab. So like she surprised all of us, because Salma was kind of like I don't know how to say it in a nice way, and like she was like outgoing. Oh my gosh, guys, let's have fun, blah blah blah. And she always prayed. She did the basics, but that girl was crazy. Okay, I'm gonna put it out like this. She was crazy. She was like woohoo, woohoo, you know what I mean? And she went to the UK. I think it was London. I don't remember, but she went. And when she came back, she had her hijab on. Guys, like imagine this, someone you least expected to put on hijab put on the hijab. And not only did she put on the hijab, she also like changed in a way. I don't even know how to say subhanallah, in a beautiful way, subhanallah. And she's so more, I don't know, she inspires me so much now, and she's one of the reasons why I started wearing hijab. Since she started wearing hijab, and I was like, mashallah, I look up to her so much. Before, I didn't even look up to her. I'm so sorry. I looked up to her, but I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I want to be like my sister when I grow up. I was more like, oh, I want to know like how she does her makeup, you know, that kind of way. And everybody was so proud. We were surprised, and I was like, wow, that was gonna be me one day. That was gonna be me. And I've always wanted to put on hijab, but I think the hardest part was like not knowing the right time to do it, and I was scared like people would judge me, or like I would lose friends or something like that. The main reason why I started putting on hijab, it was in Ramadan, and I'm doing this video in Ramadan since like last Ramadan is when I made a dua to put on hijab, and I never expected I would start putting on the hijab. Like subhanallah, I never expected that. I made dua every day in Ramadan, and for Allah to make it easy for me to put on my hijab. And since I was so scared, and before putting on my hijab, I was like playing basketball or something like that, and I never expected, like I was more of a, you know, tomboy kind of girl, like girly but like tomboy, you know what I mean, that style. But at the same time, I was like much more comfortable, and whenever I had hijab on, like whenever you had like like Ramadan, when we had to pray, like whenever I had hijab, when I felt so safe. I don't know why. And this is what, when you start putting on your hijab, you feel much more safer, you feel much more comfortable. For me, happy, like I don't know how to explain it. That's just a feeling. So in Ramadan, I made a dua, and subhanallah, exactly like 2 months after Ramadan, I started putting on my hijab, and I couldn't believe it because I've always wanted to wear hijab. Just don't forget to like, subscribe for more content, and that would help my channel to grow. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.